an unboxing video in 2021. Some mistakes surely. Okay, so I don't think I've ever done an unboxing video before. I don't see why. You're basically taking something out of the box and showing it to people. Well, it's my first attempt at this, so bear with me. And it is a film camera. Who'd have thought I'm unboxing a film camera in 2021? But it's no ordinary film camera. This is a Nikon F55 twin lens outfit. Now, you may be wondering what on earth an F55 is. Well, an F55 is just about Nikon's cheapest and last generation of autofocus film camera. Now, I've had a few of these things over the years and I'm going to get it out in a minute. But they're very, very basic, very simple, very cheap, very light, very plastic. There's nothing really to them. They were the last iteration of film camera before we went to digital. So yeah, there we go. Probably less than 20 years old. Thousands and thousands of them on eBay. Very, very cheap. So let's get into the box, and I'm actually going to spare you the actual opening the box and all the cutting and taking the packaging off. We'll actually get straight to the contents. So there are two things that come with this kit. The first is the F55 itself with its typical kit lens, the 28-80 AFG. Very simple lens made of plastic, lots of sticky tape holding it together. This is what it looks like. Again, it's super, super light. I've owned a few of these in the past. Yeah, it is what it is. It's still sort of that camera which would have been used by people instead of a point and shoot. So instead of getting a little compact camera, which is probably better to be honest, somebody would buy this because they thought to themselves, you know what, I actually want an SLR camera, because it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, people have SLRs because, you can put the lens on properly, Steve. They have SLRs because SLRs are proper cameras, you know, they are autofocus and they've got a zoom lens and you can change the lens around on them. Well, this particular kit, which I picked up for a total of about £70 a couple of years ago, comes with a second lens. Now, this is the 70-300 G f4 to 5.6. I have owned this lens before in the past. It's, again, very plastic, very cheap, very, very simple. Comes with a nice lens hood. Got to be very careful, by the way, with these lenses and cameras because they are very, 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 very cheap. And if you can get the lens hood on it, Steve, there we go. It's you know, it's a cheap plastic zoom kit lens. Okay, so that's what's in the box. That was my bargain for £70. But why on earth would I buy such an outfit, you may be asking yourself? You may not be, but you may be asking. Well, I, as you know, shoot a lot of film. I go on lots of hikes. I like to carry as little weight as possible. So if I were to say I want to go up a mountain and I don't want the camera to get in the way and I don't want it to weigh much or be very big, this might be ideal. It could be the absolutely perfect tool. It could go in your backpack. It could actually reside in your car as a second camera. Very simple, very cheap. You could probably pick that up for about £50, you know, maybe about $50, $75. And this lens here, it's okay. Again, it's all right. It's not bad as long as you stop the thing down. It's got a good reach on it. Could be useful for long lens landscapes as opposed to a big expensive, you know, a 2.8, something like that, which you ain't going to lug up a mountain. I'd hope you wouldn't lug up a mountain. So I bought this for a specific reason. Now, that specific reason was going up hills and using it outdoors in all sorts of weather. I wouldn't be worried about it getting damaged or wet or broken because I'd just replace it with another one. Incidentally, I had one of these and this lens about 10 years ago, and I went on holiday to California. And I was a little bit rough putting on and off the lens hood, sorry, the actual cap, lens cap, and I broke the mechanism, couldn't get it to work again, and it went into the bin of a hotel in San Francisco. Very nice hotel. And I carried on using a prime lens for the rest of the holiday. So they are frail, they're very, very frail. This one in particular, this 70-300, I worry every time I put the shade on, I'm going to break it because you can feel the mechanism struggling. So they're not very robust at all, to be honest. So just be gentle when you're handling them. But one good thing about these cameras, which is often overlooked, is the fact that they run on very, very small batteries, little CR2 batteries, I believe they are. They're one of the tiny, yeah, there we go, little little CR2s, two of those. They're very, very small. They've got quite a good life as well. You know, you put them in, you can probably get a couple of years out of them with normal shooting. Now I'm going to have to say something about this lens, this harmless looking 28 to 80 G lens, which came out with all these cheap Nikons at the end of the film era. These are absolutely superb. Used within the boundaries, within their limitations, these are fantastic lenses. They need to be really stopped down to about f8, f11. Outside of that, they're not so good. Now, I'll try and put a link, if I can find it, to the description from the designer of this lens, the guy who was given the task of coming up with a cheap lens. And he explains the compromises he went through. But I will say, and I'll give you an example here, this lens used properly is sharper than my other zoom lenses, all my other zoom lenses in the right range. It's absolutely incredible in terms of sharpness. I've got this picture here which I took in the States again. I think this was in Massachusetts or somewhere. And it's incredible. The resolving power used properly is incredible. So it's not to be laughed at. You've got to use it within, you know, its limitations, but it's superb. This one, it's okay. f8, f11, it's okay. It's not bad. I've used it in the past. So a good little outfit. Just as a bit of history, let's just see where it sits within the Nikon lens, within the Nikon body lineup from that sort of era. Now, if you take the F55 as the beginner, this is your, I've walked into a camera shop, I want a cheap camera please, that will do. Your next step up would be the sort of the prosumer, the sort of, I'm a bit of an enthusiast, Nikon F80, N80 in the States. And I've got lots of these, as you've probably seen. That is my favourite film camera, probably. Super light still, more durable than this. Got a metal mount, it's got more modes on it, which I do use. Exposure compensation, you can set the film speed manually. Not much heavier, not much bigger. Absolutely fantastic. And moving up a step, you would then have something like the Nikon F100, which is the sort of semi-pro model, just down from the F5. That's bigger, a lot bigger, a lot heavier. It's more than twice the weight. A lot more durable, more features, etc, etc. But I wouldn't carry it up a mountain. It's too big, it's too heavy. I'd take that instead. That's one for walking around and doing serious sort of, you know, photography and street shots, etc. Works with all my manual focus lenses, by the way. The little Nikon F80 and F55, they don't actually work with old manual focus. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with the cameras. They don't actually work with all manual focus lenses. They don't meter at all. So anyway, that's me waffling on about my £70 to bargain buy and why I bought it. But to put it in context, I thought it would be best to take it out and use it in the situation which I purchased it for, which is going up mountains. So next week's video is going up a mountain in rough conditions, roughish conditions, with the two lens outfit to see how it performs and to see if it's worth me carrying again. So yeah, look out for that one next week. Hope you enjoyed this brief ramble about Nikon's cheapest, lightest, flimsiest, capable SLR from the end of the film era, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.